Nigeria Mixed Martial Arts Federation was recently given an approval by the Federal Ministry for Youth and Sports Development as one of the recognized sports federations in the country. In a letter confirming the new status of the MMAF in March, the ministry further gave the approval for the new body to participate at the National Sports Festival. Joining me in the studio today to look at this development is the Mixed Martial Arts Federation Director of Youth Development, Dr. Benard Ebere. How are you doing today?
I'm fine. A pleasure.
It's a pleasure to have you in the studio once again.
Thank you.
All right, so let's get right into the discussion for the day. What does this fresh development mean to your federation?
Yeah, it's a big boost because Nigeria is going to join the league of other nations in as far as MMA is concerned, the US, Europe, and even we have in South Africa, EFC.
Okay, so we understand that this took quite a while for this to come to fruition. I mean, it took about 10 years of work before this came to light. So what part of the work is the spirit of Akalaka, which you have been using to grow the sport. Can you shed more light on this?
Yeah, over the past years, almost like 10 years, we'll be having this dream of making mixed martial art big in Nigeria, in Africa, just like we have in Europe and in the US. It has been a daunting task. So what most of us have done in the past is to go to the grassroots, go to villages, to go to local communities, and then develop the youth with the hope that one day we'll have that recognition. And luckily for us, precisely 11th of January this year, 2023, the Honorable Minister of Sports, Sunday Dare, and granted us that recognition. Today we are proud to say that MMA has come to Nigeria.
Okay, thank you for that. We've been talking about mixed martial arts, and a little birdie, I heard somewhere that in roughly 2 weeks from now, something is happening on April the 29th. Can you shed more light on that?
Yeah, mixed martial art is a big brand, one of the fastest growing sports in the world today, and we have different brand names like the UFC, EFC, Brave Championship. Also in Nigeria, we have a couple of trademarks coming up. One of them is Akalaka Spirit of Warrior. We'll have a big fight coming up on the 29th of April, just in 2 weeks' time from here in Abuja, Nikon Luxury Hotel in Abuja. We'll have fighters coming from Ghana, from Senegal, from Gabon. I mean, a couple of African countries, including our own fighters in Nigeria here. Okay.
All right. Just before we let you go, let's talk about Israel Adesanya versus Pereira fight. Now, we've had a lot of reactions. We've had different reactions from different people, but we want to hear from someone who's really into the sport. What's your take on Israel Adesanya reclaiming his title?
If you ask me, that was symbolic, and it actually depicts the philosophy behind the martial art, that you cannot be put down. You know, the greatest kind of blow or the hardest blow you receive is the one that life dealt at you. It's not how hard you can hit back, but whether you'll be able to stand up when you fall. You see, Israel has been beaten like 3 times by the same guy. So all he needed for him to take this win is a change of mindset and strategy. It was all about strategy, and he got the win. And it was a very sweet knockout.
Okay, so speaking of sweet things, we also hear that there's going to be something revolving around cancer on April the 29th. What is that about?
Yeah, just like I said before, the greatest blow is the one that life deals at you. And a lot of people are into different kind of fight. Martial art in itself is symbolic. So in this April 29 event, we're actually partnering with an NGO, Project Pink Blue, that is into the fight against cancer. So part of the proceeds from this event will go to support people in need, people that are suffering from cancer. In fact, before the event, we are going to provide free cancer screening to up to 200 persons, prostate cancer, cervical cancer, and breast cancer.
Oh, that's
it's a way of giving back to the society.
Oh, that's good to know. On a lighter note, speaking of giving back to society, will there be food and drinks at the event?
Of course, plenty of food and drinks.
All right. Thank you so much for speaking with us. It's a pleasure having you.
It's my pleasure too.